A robot taking a full kick to the chest and bouncing back like a trained athlete. A lifelike head that blinks and gazes just like a human. And factories in China filled with millions of AI robots working non-stop. These aren't science fiction scenes. They're real breakthroughs happening right now. And at the center of it all is Unitree's new humanoid, the G1, moving in ways that almost break physics. The story begins with a robot test that looked more like a martial arts sparring session than a science demo. Engineers at Unitree, a rising robotics company from China, lined up their latest humanoid, the G1. Instead of showing it gently walking or carefully waving, they started kicking it from every angle. To everyone's surprise, the robot didn't just fall and power down like older machines. It recovered, adjusted, and stood tall again. Unitree calls this feature anti-gravity mode. Of course, it's not real anti-gravity. What it actually means is that the G1 has a powerful balance and recovery system. Every time a shove or strike comes in, the robot instantly predicts how to land, brace, or move out of the way. Instead of acting like a fragile toy, it reacts more like an athlete who knows how to take a hit. The secret lies in its sensors and motors. The G1 carries depth cameras and 3D LiDAR, which constantly scan the space around it. These sensors create a live map of the world, showing where the robot stands, what objects are moving, and what kind of force is coming at it. Once that data is processed, each of its joints, powered by its own motor, reacts in perfect sync, just like muscles firing together in a human body. One of the most striking moments from the demo was when someone delivered a sharp sidekick. Instead of tumbling to the ground, the G1 spread its legs wide, leaned into the force, and regained control. In another test, the robot bent its knees quickly to absorb an impact, then sprang back up in one clean motion. Considering the robot weighs around 77 pounds, lifting itself that smoothly is no small task. The engineers didn't stop there. They pushed harder, running kicks that sent the robot sliding across the floor, and double shoves that knocked it off balance mid-air. Each time the G1 scanned its surroundings, recalculated its stance, and recovered. It wasn't just durable, it was learning to adapt. That kind of resilience is exactly what industries want. In a factory, even a small disruption can cost valuable time and money. A robot that needs to be restarted after every accident slows everything down. But one that can take hits, reset itself, and keep working without human help, that's a major advantage. Even more surprising is the price. At around $16,000, the G1 is considered affordable compared to many other humanoids. Unitree isn't marketing this to casual buyers or YouTube creators looking for a flashy demo. Their target audience is research labs and work floors where adaptability is critical. If a robot can keep moving no matter what happens, it saves time, labor, and resources. And Unitree is not stopping there. The company's CEO, Wang Xingjing, revealed at the Global Digital Trade Expo that they plan to launch a full-sized humanoid standing 1.8 meters tall in the second half of this year. This news spread quickly on Chinese social media, with teaser clips already drawing huge attention. China's robotics industry is already experiencing what experts call explosive growth. According to the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, in the first half of 2025 alone, the sector's operating revenue jumped by nearly 28% compared to last year. Industrial robot production climbed more than 35%, while service robots rose by 25%. Some companies are reporting annual growth rates between 50 and 100%, which is almost unheard of in most industries. This is why Unitree's progress with the G1 is so important. They are not just showing off tricks. They are racing in a national competition where companies are evolving at lightning speed. Each new feature, whether it's improved balance, faster processing, or better durability, can become the edge that keeps a company ahead. But Unitree isn't the only one pushing limits. Another robotics company in China called Aheadform has gone in a very different direction. Instead of teaching robots how to survive kicks or flips, they are focused on making robots look and feel more human. Their engineers built a humanoid head capable of showing facial expressions that look disturbingly real. In one demonstration, the robotic head tilted slightly, blinked with natural timing, and moved its eyes as if it were studying the people in front of it. The effect startled many viewers. It wasn't just the smooth blinking or head movement. It was the subtle details, tiny changes in gaze, the way the face seemed to react to sound, that made it so realistic. Aheadform calls its lineup the Elf series. Some models even have elf-like ears, giving them a fantasy-like design. But behind the design, the technology is serious. The heads are powered by advanced motors that control dozens of points across the face, allowing for over 30 degrees of movement just in the facial muscles. These motors are lightweight, quiet, and energy efficient, making them perfect for simulating the small movements humans use to express emotion. The latest model, called Zuon, is a full-body robot with a static torso, but a head capable of pulling off a wide range of expressions. Another model, Elf V1, goes further by attempting to perceive and interact with its environment intelligently. The founder, Hu Yuhong, has an ambitious vision. He believes that within 10 years, robots will feel almost human in the way they interact, and within 20 years, they could walk and perform tasks just like us. Of course, he admits that building a robot truly identical to a human is extremely difficult, but his company isn't alone in trying. In Shanghai, some robotics firms are already selling humanoid androids for public use in places like malls, hospitals, schools, and even live shopping streams. These androids are less about heavy work and more about customer interaction, where realistic faces and expressions help people feel more comfortable. Still, for most robotics companies, the real focus remains on productivity. Unitree, Fourier, Tesla, and many others are chasing the goal of humanoid workers that can handle complex physical tasks in factories and other industrial settings. One of the most shocking demonstrations in recent months came from a startup called Skilled AI. Their engineers showed off a robot dog being attacked with a chainsaw. Most people expected sparks, smoke, and a lifeless machine. Instead, even after its legs were sliced apart, the robot somehow managed to keep moving. It hobbled, shifted weight, and adapted to its broken body in real time. This resilience comes from what Skilled AI calls an omni-bodied robot brain. Unlike traditional AIs, which are trained to control one specific machine, this system was trained across a massive virtual world filled with 100,000 different robot bodies. The AI couldn't just memorize moves, it had to develop flexible strategies that could apply to any form, whether the robot had wheels, legs, or something in between. Even when it faces damage, it still finds ways to keep functioning. But while Skilled AI explores adaptability, another company is exploring performance. In Shanghai, Fourier Intelligence recently introduced the N1 Humanoid, also called Nexus 001. Unlike the heavier and slower humanoids of the past, this robot stunned audiences with dynamic moves. In one demo, it executed a clean cartwheel. In another, it pulled off a kung fu-style jump spin and landed without toppling. These are moves even skilled humans struggle with, but the N1 handled them smoothly. Fourier designed the N1 as an open-source platform, meaning universities, labs, and hobbyists can access its blueprints and software. At 1.3 meters tall and weighing about 38 kilograms, the N1 is light but powerful, able to run at 3.5 meters per second and last more than 2 hours on a single charge. Then there's Clone Robotics from Poland, which has taken a different and some say unsettling approach. Their prototype, called Protoclone, doesn't look sleek or futuristic. Instead, it looks corpse-like, with twitching limbs powered by synthetic muscles. Clone Robotics is using fluid-driven artificial muscles that mimic the flexibility and strength of human tissue. Their next version, Neoclone, is expected to include tactile skin, opening the door to delicate tasks like handling fragile objects or performing medical procedures. Zooming out, the bigger story is what's happening across China. The country now operates more than 2 million industrial robots, more than the rest of the world combined. In just a decade, China jumped from having 49 robots per 10,000 workers to 470. State-backed programs like Made in China 2025 have poured billions into research and acquisitions, turning factories into hubs of automation. Some companies can now assemble electric trucks in just 15 minutes, while others are using swarm robotics controlled over 5G networks. These robots don't just repeat tasks. They make decisions, perform predictive maintenance, and collaborate in real time. The Unitree G1 and its anti-gravity moves may look like a party trick at first, but in truth, it's part of a bigger race. A race to build robots that don't just function, but adapt, recover, and perhaps even outthink us. Whether that future is exciting or terrifying depends on how humanity chooses to use these machines. So, what do you think? Are robots like Unitree's G1 the beginning of a new golden age of productivity? Or are we stepping into a future we can't fully control? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the cutting edge of robotics, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss the stories that are shaping our future.